Hey y'all, Mackie here with Timberline Inspections. Today I'm going to show you something right quick just to get you ready for your home inspection if you've got one coming up, if you're a seller and you're listing your house. So this right here is the TPR valve on top of a hot water heater, and typically not a whole lot goes wrong or is wrong with these things when you do an inspection, although this one's fairly decently corroded, but it's an older hot water heater. But one of the issues that we have is this drain line for it. So you can see it should have a drain line. Some of them won't, and that'll be written up because what happens if this thing bursts is that it'll shoot all that hot water out into your, right at a face level or a body level. This one's right at about my neck, but it'll shoot this out there and can obviously cause some serious injury there. So what we do is we put these drain lines on them, and we can see over here this one's got a drain line that comes down. Now, every licensing organization for home inspectors seems like they all have different standards. One of the ones that I've seen out there that I don't particularly like is it tells you to run this drain line down underneath the house into the crawl space and discharge into the crawl space. And though these things aren't used very often, when it is used, you don't typically want that much water going into your crawl space. You want to kind of keep that area dry. So and to me, that's kind of a bad idea. Personally, I think it's probably the best option is to have them vented outside, but you can have them vented into the same room. Although again, depending on who the licensing agency is for the home inspector, they may or may not write that up. But you can see this one here goes down this way and then runs across behind the washer and dryer over here and then out the exterior wall there and discharges outside. Now that's okay to do, and that's a great way to do it. Problem is what you actually need in here, and somewhere along this line here probably, you need what's called an air gap. And a plumber can put that in for you, or you can look up how to install your own air gap and Google it. It's very easy to do, very easy fix, and it'll help take care of this so it doesn't get written up. So you tend to see them if it's got copper piping on there. You probably have an air gap, but basically what an air gap is it creates just literally an air gap in there, a space, so that way, one, this line doesn't burst if pressure were to come out faster than what this line can hold. But the bigger thing is it keeps backflow, so it keeps the plumbing here to keep to not allow the contaminated water to siphon back in. And so basically what it is we've got a bigger pipe that would this smaller pipe would go into a slightly larger pipe. So you'd increase the size here and have the pipe go into it. Typically they're done up right when I see them with copper lines. It's these PEX pipes that don't have them, and maybe there's a plumber out there that'll tell me that PEX pipes don't need them, but to my knowledge they do, and to my licensing organization and our inspection standards, they're required to have them. So just real quick, guys, so you guys can understand what's supposed to happen there, and that's kind of why that's getting written up if you've had it written up before. Theory being that because you can't see that end, you basically don't know what's going on out there. So you want to make sure that it's also not blocked, and that's part of what that gives you in there. It gives you a discharge route for it if that end is blocked up. So leave me a post if y'all got any questions. Remember, Timberline Inspections, inspected once, inspected right.